So the whole purpose of this half an hour, it'll be about half an hour. The good news is you've got the nice, it's a bit bright, but nice and cool. The other presentation's in the main hall, and that's really hot. So you've got the best one. You haven't got, you got a second place. So you must have, I'm the executive principal. I've met some of you before. The other presentations were done by Mr. Chapman, the head of the UTC, and Miss Benny, the head of sixth form. So they get 2 for 1, but a hot space, and you get 1 person in a cool space. So I'll let you judge which is the best. If you do want to go and speak to Mr. Chapman or Miss Benny, they're across the road, please do. The good news is I've been here 13 years, I was the head teacher here, so hopefully I can answer all your questions anyway, and I'll hang around at the end. The purpose of today is very simply, and the same for families at home who are going to be watching this afterwards, is that you get all the answers to the questions about how you transition effectively into the sixth form. So if at the end of the evening, after what I've said and what you've spoken about in your courses, you are not clear, you've missed something out. So please make sure you don't go home, whether that's parent or student, thinking I've still got some questions. Everyone is here tonight to help you in that process. So the first one, I apologise, I'm trying to get the sound louder on here, was the video around the Multi-Academy Trust, which I think I mentioned to you last time, but just to be really clear, there's a legal bit I have to say to you here, because when you started your application way back, we're in the journey of becoming a Multi-Academy Trust. We're delighted to say that's now been announced. And when you join here on the 1st of September, you will join as part of the new Multi-Academy Trust. What does that mean for you? Simply nothing, okay, is the actual answer, because we are one in the same. We're not joining with another trust, we are ourselves a trust, but the upper floor here, right above our heads, that's the new maths school for Birmingham. And some of you, I recognise a few faces, were here last night in the same seats because you've applied for the maths school and you've applied for our sixth form, which is it's a good thing to do. And if you are really keen on maths, further maths and physics, or maths, further maths and computing, that's the distinct pathway only that they do at the maths school. Please do have a look at it. There's a few not spaces, it's oversubscribed, but we're still taking applications through. So those 2 schools, the sixth form, Aston University sixth form, and the maths schools come together, run by me, under our umbrella, run by the university, which is the Multi-Academy Trust. So as I said, to you, no difference, okay, apart from extra funding, extra resources and extra opportunities, which is always great to have, isn't it? So hopefully while you are here, if you're sat here now thinking you're going to university in an undergraduate degree, you're in the wrong place. So let's just get that out of the way first. It has happened sometimes. Okay, you're here to join the sixth form in year 12, coming from many different schools and looking at your data, probably from over 110 different schools across the West Midlands. And this year we're expecting over 370 learners to join us in year 12 as they do. And just today we've had our diversity celebration day, and that's also highlighted just the incredible diversity amongst our students and our staff, not only for our local cultural diversity, but also from where families have come from and heritage as well, which has been outstanding. You're going to find out more about your pathways. Now this is really important, and again the message going home about this. It's fundamental that you have started to lock down where you are with your pathway options. And I'll explain a bit more as we get to the end of the presentation, but that's because your selection and process into the sixth form on results day is done by pathways. So if you haven't put that down properly, you could end up being filtered and selected at a different time to other students. I'll explain a bit more as we get to it, but hold that in your heads, pathway options. As a result to that, normally tonight is just come in, listen to me, listen to Mr. Chapman, and go home. But we've actually put on, you can hear it's a little bit noisy around me, we've put on all the options for you. So we've got a little bit like another open evening tonight, just for you. Not for external students, just for applicants, because I know some of you in questions have gone, oh, but there's so much choice, I'm not quite sure if I want to do that or that or that. So just to remind you, over in the main building in one lister, on the ground floor, you've got people talking about A-level, engineering downstairs here, all of health on the ground floor, business literally through that room, just over there for T-levels. The T-levels in this building, B-Tech ground here, and A-levels across there. Go and have those conversations with students and staff and help trying to find down, and come see me at the end as well. You need to understand the enrolment process. Congratulations, you've been awarded that first point of the place, but I have to be really clear, that place isn't guaranteed. That's based on, obviously, on the results, down your results, and I'll explain that more as we go through to understand it, and meet the key staff that are involved with the transition. Touched upon this already on the open evening, lots of employer partners, some are here today, but that's the whole aim. And all we've had since this has gone up is even more degree apprenticeships and opportunities that have gone out since I've last seen you as well. And that's, I think, increasing again, probably up to close to 20% on apprenticeships this year and degree apprenticeships from our partner employers, especially in those in T-levels as well. We've seen in some courses, nearly 50% of them onto degree apprenticeships through T-levels. Lots of new partners have come on board this year. Many of them you'll recognise as jewellery companies, not unsurprisingly linked to our new jewellery facilities. So let's remind ourselves of those pathways, which is why you're here. I've got to be careful here because I'm being recorded, so I go into teacher mode and I like to walk around and point, and my videographer will tell me off. So I'll try and stand still and point it here, but I'll talk you through, hopefully in colours, and it's a pretty good screen so you can see that. But to remind you, we've got effectively 3 key strands that run through our school. We have business, health and engineering. And then we have a number of pathways under 3 distinct types of qualifications. So we have A-levels, which deal with the elite and the academic. The elite being that you're definitely on your A-levels, but you're looking to do 4. The good news is the pressure's off. You can't choose elite. We choose that for you. You can say, I want to be considered for it, but it's based on your GCSE results. You've got to have the highest of grade at the bottom. You can see in your booklets you've had previously. It used to be in the centre. I want to say it's on page about 4 or 5 in your booklet. You'll see this if you want to see it in a bit more detail. But at the bottom, it will tell you need to have an average point of grade 7. Now, I've gone through this before, but just to reiterate and just in case anybody's not clear. What happens on results day is you submit. You get a Google form sent to you that morning. So I was playing a video downstairs. You got a Google form that is sent towards you and you put your results on there. They come in and your best 8 are ranked, including your main 5, be it your science, your maths and your English. Your best 8 are added all up and divided by 8. The maths isn't complicated, okay? That gives you your average score. That's what you work out with your average scores across the bottom. There's a few nuances of subjects, such as further maths requires a grade 7. Regards a grade 8, and A-level maths requires a grade 7. That's also a really important note. If you're applying for the maths school, to come to maths school, you have to have a grade 8 to get into the maths school. But for us, for the same courses, you need a grade 7. So you've got a double option for you. Academic is exactly the same, but that, excuse me, that's your 3 A-level option. Then we've got our BTECs down the middle, which are done by exams and coursework. You've got professional and professional, elite professional. Elite professional means, again, very high grade entry, 6.5 plus as a minimum. You could choose to do an A-level alongside. So for example, one of the most popular combinations is A-level, a BTEC engineering worth 3 A-levels along with A-level maths. That's probably the strongest combination in the engineering world. Some might do product design alongside it, or business, or for example, applied science and biology. Okay, that's there, but again, you need a higher grade. Then you've got the 3 standard BTEC, and then we've got our really, and they're not, just because they're on this end, doesn't mean they are the lowest qualification. In fact, they're the highest qualification, is our T-levels. Year 1 is A-level, Year 2 is applied, more like an apprenticeship stroke BTEC. They have, again, different standard, but 5.5 to 6 to get in there, and you can see the specific subjects to find out about them. The reason I said it's so important, you now need to be in a position to say which one you are aiming to go towards. Because when it comes to the results day and you've submitted that form, it has to be with us by 11 o'clock in the morning. The download is all done and completed. We rank you, but you're ranked by those choices. We don't rank you on all 1,000 applications, or I've got 2,000 applications that we receive. We don't rank you in that. We rank you per pathway. If you come down, if you've got more than one choice, we'll rank you on your first choice first, and then your second choice after. Bear in mind that there's only a small number of spaces over here. If you're thinking, I think it's a T-level, but I might want to do A-levels, we'd probably put your T-level first. If that doesn't go, then they fill up very, very quickly. So that's really important. We'll then invite you in from that afternoon, depending on which course. So I want to say, it might come up later on and remind me of when it comes in, but I think on day 1 it's T-level and A-level, and BTEC is on day 2. You'll be invited into an enrolment meeting, and I'll explain that a little bit more as we move on. So what makes us so different? Huge amount. Absolutely huge amount. Many that you see today, for example, I was walking around with the jewellers, more employers, looking at all the different work we do, the different activities that are going on. It is extensive. And even seeing the diversity show today, students presenting poetry, music, singing, so many opportunities for you to develop who you are and what makes you different. Again, picking up from open evening and go through, recognise not only as a good school, but an outstanding school with outstanding personal development. And that starts from today. Asking yourself what makes you different, asking you on that next stage of your development. And when you come in for the enrolment, the first thing that will happen when you walk through the door of enrolment, you will go into a careers interview. You'll have 2 careers interviews on enrolment. One will be with a member of staff, trying to do that, and then the second will be a senior member of staff. And we will ask you, why are you here? But more importantly, we'll say to you, where is it you want to go? And that can be quite alarming as a year 11. I say year 11, you're past that now, and congratulations on finishing all your exams. And my son's just finished his exams as well, same age as you. And I know how horrific it was, 21 exams over those 2.5 weeks. It's mad. So therefore, straight away, we're asking you, where do you want to be in 3 and 5 years' time? And sometimes we get a bit of a face and goes, oh, I don't know. But that's really important, because we make sure in that conversation, and we have UCAS open, we have the apprenticeship open, we have the universities open, and go, okay, what is it you want to do? And sometimes it might not be as simple as going, I want to go there, but it might be, I want to go in that direction. And what we're looking at is to make sure you're not closing doors. And you go, okay, if you're doing that, but you do this combination that you're asking for, or this course, you cannot become, for example, a doctor, or you cannot become an engineer because you haven't chosen this subject or that subject. So we give you a really personalised one-to-one experience, and we start that journey straight away. Lots of examples of things that have been going on. Example, I've got 15 kids in China at the moment. I've got 5 students in the 6th form who are currently working the Amalfi Coast for 4 months. Okay, I know that especially because I'm popping out next week, looking forward to it, popping over to go and see them, because somebody's got to go and see them and check how they're getting on. The cadet force, you'll have a chance to get involved with the cadet force, is one of the options you go through to see. Lots going on there. And then as we move around from sort of a little bit about us, a little bit more the open evening, this moves into the new information of what are the expectations coming here. Now I need to be really clear. We are a strict, firm 6th form. You're never going to hear me bash another college and say they're not very good, we're this, but we are a 6th form. So to reassure you as parents, you get the same experience you have as a parent of a child in a school. Because some colleges you go to, which is the case, the relationship becomes with you as a student, you are absolutely a young adult, but I've got cases where that student has not turned up, not done it, and the first thing the parent knows is that student's been kicked out. You don't get that. You get the full triangle relationship between the home, the student, and the school. That continues as you'd expect. But we have very high expectations, and that's clearly recognised by Ofsted. This is you get this in your handbook, and it's on our website, and we share it. And on your enrolment day, you'll receive a handbook, which is about, Mr. Ali's at the back who wrote it. I think, what is it up to now? 26, 28 pages? 33 pages, okay? Lots of information for you, but this is one of the documents. And what it explains very clearly at the very top, what we expect in the green. We expect good attendance, ideally 100%. Sometimes that can't happen. So good attendance, 95% plus. Positive behaviour, modelling what we call the 7 R's in conduct. Most students, all of the students live in the green. But to be really clear, if you move into the pink, you can see there the consequences, as you would expect in a school, rapidly start to come on. So you'll see things in there like reports and phone calls home and meetings, but then it moves on into dismissal, permanent exclusions on one side, etc. Attendance is the biggest one. There's sometimes a little myth that thinks I'm now in 6th form, I can just come and go, my attendance can be quite low. I have to be really clear on this. We are funded from the Department for Education only for full-time students. So if you're looking for one where you want to be coming half a week to school, half doing something else, you can't come here. You need to apply to BMet or Southend City because they're funded differently as a college, as a 6th form FE. We're not FE. We are funded as a school. You have to be full-time. So what happens is as soon as you're below here, if you get below that 85, you are no longer a full-time student and you have to leave the school. And sometimes some people fall into that category. It also includes people going on holiday or abroad for a long period of time, so you have to be really careful there as well. Why? Persistent severe absence is detrimental to your education prospect. It stops you getting the grades you need to do to move forward. Lots of opportunities we've talked about already, and that make yourself different. You'll hopefully get to love it or get frustrated, but it's really important. We see difference here as the vital attribute when you're going to get jobs. When you're going out in the real world and you're competing against lots of people, and if you look at it in Birmingham alone, you've got over 20,000 people in year 11 who've just finished their GCSEs. How are you different from them? How are you different from the people around you? Well, we're going to give you so many opportunities that you can choose to do. But you're in post-16 now, no one's going to force you. That's the real difference. And what you don't want to do is get the end of 2 years and go, oh, you know what, I should have done that. And what you do realise here very quickly is people grab those opportunities. Some of the people you see around, I can see Dean's walking down there, she's just got back from Sierra Leone, when she worked over in Sierra Leone. Lots of opportunities abroad, lots of opportunities here, and also then coming up with your own ideas. We're very lucky here. We have lots of money, not lots of money, but money for projects, money for student stuff, money for trips, all the things that stand out on your CV. That just demonstrates that link. You cannot expect and dream to get above a B at A level without higher or close to 95% attendance. It ain't happening at all. So it's absolutely vital that link is there. And that's not made up figures. That's based on, I think the study that did that, it might be on there, the study that did that is something like close to 1 million students over 5 years of data that was evidenced and put through together by the Nottingham Observatory. Holidays and periods off. We do not authorise holidays. We do not authorise going abroad legally. They count as a G code, which is unauthorised. Okay, family emergencies are only up to 3 days. That's a real difficulty. That family emergency is somewhere else in a different country. We try and work with you, but unfortunately, you've got to be really clear that will have an impact on your attendance and can also lead to fines and all the rest of it. You have to, as a parent, communicate absences. In the morning, traffic happens. As a student or a parent, you report in, say your child's going to be late. As a student, you can do that. You're a young adult to do that. But if you miss school, it's no different than normal school. You bring a note in, you bring the evidence in. If it's over a certain time, you have to bring a doctor's note in. So you'll be very familiar with that. What is different, though, is you'll now be eligible for some of you, or most of you, will be eligible for the post-16 bursary. And you may have heard about this if you've gone to other college evenings, etc. But we will send you a link to the post-16 bursary site. It's run by Applica. Unfortunately, annoyingly, same company that makes your application process, but they're not joined together. Don't know why, we're working hard on that, but it's a slightly separate system. So apologies for that, but you will log in as student and parents and set an account up, and that's where you'll upload your evidence that's required against your bursary. It is means tested, so you put your family collective household information in there that's required, and according to that, it will then release money that you are able to access. You cannot get cash. You can only use it for resources and towards your learning. So normally that would be the fact of it's equipment, it's uniform, it's travel, it's a trip. You can put it towards those things which are directly related to your course, but you have to bring in receipts of what you've purchased. Most people might put it towards a laptop, for example, depending on the amount of money and depends on what you need to go through. And again, more information will be sent to you discreetly on the bursary process, and it's laid out in the handbook as well. We look to then put that through as quickly as possible and get that payment for you. I'll touch upon travel because there's often a question, say, can I get a bus pass? And you might say, on the back of the bus, I saw that so-and-so college is giving free bus passes away. Look very close at the very bottom at the start. It will say, for those eligible on the bursary scheme. It's the same thing. You're using the bursary to buy the bus. We are unable to give you a bus pass, nor can they. Doesn't work that way, unfortunately, in the world. At post-16, it's deemed that you can choose to go where you want to go. Okay, we do have hardship funds and things we look at, and if there are situations like that, please let us know. Okay, please let us know. We've got families in every single circumstance. Do not be embarrassed. Do not keep something to yourself. Have an open conversation, and we will always talk to you and advise you about the best way through and to support you. So handbook, mentioned already. QR code is there. I will put that back on at the end of the presentation and you can scan it on your phone and it will be live for you today. An amazing booklet, it has everything in, but I'll pick up some of the salient points and I've covered a lot of it already as we've gone through. Business dress. Clive Marks are here today. Not sure. Okay, so Clive Marks is our supplier for business dress, but as a sixth former, you can buy off the high street. That said, it is useful to look at Clive Marks. The quality of the suit is really good. It's washable. We've put it in the right way. It's a really, really good product, but you can go. You can see on the picture there, and you'll see modelled by the students, that we have a suit all the way through until 19. The waistcoat is optional. A lot of people go for the waistcoat. It looks really smart. The reason being is what we don't allow is we don't allow jumpers. We are not a school with a school uniform and a jumper. Okay, we don't allow it. Okay, so we have a gender neutral uniform, i.e. you, regardless, can wear either option or combination. Okay, so that's entirely up to you. But we have a blouse option which does not require a tie, a shirt option that requires a tie. You will see students of any gender wearing a mix of both. Okay, according. What you can't do though is wear a collared shirt with no tie. You'll be picked up. You may see a little bit of difference today because today's one of the days where everyone goes, it's really hot, you don't need to wear a tie. So a caveat there. As I said, you can't wear a jumper, you can have a waistcoat. You're allowed to wear a white shirt underneath if you need to, underneath your shirt, as long as we can't see any branding or logo through it. Jacket must be worn unless you get told the jacket needs to be off, and it is a suit. That means it's a grey suit, top and bottom. Ideally, it should be a charcoal suit, okay? If it's miles away from that in grey, you may run the risk that we say you're not allowed to wear that, but we're around grey is what you're looking at, but ideally charcoal. As I said, you have that through the high street, online, or you can direct go it from Clive Marks, and you've got some of the prices and stuff on there for you. Just looking at it, I can see suit jacket is around £40 to £49, and the trousers are about £19 to £22, depending on sizes. Same for skirts. Okay. Again, I'll take questions afterwards. The tie is available from Clive Marks or to be purchased here in the school as well, and it may say on that. If you are, it says there actually, suit option £70 for a full suit. If you're going to T-levels, there is some distinct extra equipment you do need. Things like work trousers for engineering, polo shirts, scrubs if you're in nursing, etc., etc. I won't go through it. Download it, read it, go and speak to the staff. But you need to know if you're doing those courses, you do need some extra business dress, and that's because you're going to work. And you wear that in the hospital or on work sites. Other quick questions to follow through with then is our working day. Now, there's a caveat on this. The caveat is your day may flex depending on your timetable. You will have 8:40 arrive. 8:40 is your lesson start. You do not have a registration in the morning. Some of you in your current or your previous school at the end of year 11 came in and went to registration and then went to your first lesson. You don't get that in the sixth form. At 8:40, your teacher is starting your starter activity and is there. That means you need to be here and on site from at least 8:30, 8:20 in the morning to give you time to get to your locker, to get your stuff, get ready and get to your lesson. That's really important. The building is open from the morning. Most buildings are open from 8 o'clock in the morning, and the playground area and stuff around it, safe area to come to, is open with your card access from about 7:30, 7:45. So parents that are dropping off or you're coming in the city, you've always got somewhere safe to come to and sit down, and there's students here from an earlier time. The official finish times, Monday at 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday at 3:30, and Friday at 2:30. So everyone finishes early on a Friday. That said, things like clubs, enrichment, what makes you different, may well be after that. You may choose that you want to join the gym. And we're very fortunate that because you're part of Aston University, you get access to Aston University's full student gym, swimming, gym, you get the induction, costs £17 a month for the gym and classes, I think it costs £20 a month for the gym, classes and swimming, okay? And there's a combinations in between. Look, you can look on the website, it'll be there anyway for that. So you might want to go there afterwards, they're things. You will also have study. So one thing you may not have had, or most students don't have in year 11, is what they deem as being freeze, okay? The bad news is you don't get a huge amount. You will get some, okay, but you will also get at least 2 hours of supported study a week. And this is also additionally new this year because I'm also, for each of you on the A-level pathways, paying an extra £70 per person per course. So if you're doing 3 A-levels, 3 lots of 70, okay, £210 for you to have additional online tutoring on top of your teaching and your lessons. And that covers you at home and that covers you in school. It's AI enabled, but you'll have 2 hours a week actually in this area here and the whole of this area here, new computer area, where you will come for 2 hours a week if you're on A level and complete that. If you're on T levels, you'll get something slightly different, but again, you'll be getting up to 3 to 4 hours a week of that additional time. BTEC, it's not there because BTEC is already built into your course as well. Term dates, I'm not going to go through, but apart from saying very simply, we follow Birmingham term dates. So I tend to put on Google, they're there anyway, but I tend to put on Google Birmingham term dates and we follow those. We have a number of training days that sit there. It's important when you come through after enrolment to understand when you will start back and when you are due to arrive, and it will pop up there. But the first 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, will start back nice and easy this year, 1st and 2nd of September, are training days. And then Wednesday the 3rd is your first day here. That's your induction day. Wednesday the 4th is your second induction day, and Friday the 5th is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is your year 12 induction days, and there'll be more information on those. Some of it might be different groups in. You'll get inducted, you'll get your passes done, your photographs done, introduction to your lessons, all the usual palaver you go with starting, getting your timetable, making sure that's all right. But you'll also do some induction stuff, and you'll do a team building activity. It's a really good activity, it's across Birmingham, big competition, it's good fun. We provide you with information like My Child at School and Firefly, where you can track your child's learning, you can track all of your communication coming home, you can track all their attendance, you can track all their positive behaviour points, and hopefully it won't happen, but any negative behaviour points as well. So, I've covered some of this, but to reiterate enrolment, and I'll take this through as a step. So, at 8 o'clock in the morning, you'll receive a Google form sent to your email. If you're registered for your parent email, that's where it could go to as well, so double check that please. We send you out a link. You need to go to your school and get your results. That's really important. Some of you, for this year, because it's brand new, may be told that your school is participating in the new DFE online results process, because we're doing that as well. But that's just a test this year. We can't use that. In the future, the idea is we can all use that. But at the moment, it's just a test. So you need to go and get your results. Your school will open at different times, but most schools will be open by at least 9 o'clock. Do not hang around. Go and get your results, open your envelope, celebrate, laugh, cheer, tell your family about it. But very quickly, complete the form, which includes taking a picture of your results and uploading it on the form. That has to be done by 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, we literally put a line across it, and everybody, because it's an Excel form that comes in, everybody above that line is then sorted. If you put it in at 1 minute past, 2 minutes past, we will sort you, but in wave 2. And that won't happen to a day and a half later. And at that point, courses may be filled. So by 11 o'clock, everybody who's above the line is sorted. As I said earlier, we saw everyone who selected A level, they're sorted and ranked, highest to lowest in average point score. So those are averaging 9s across at the top, all the way down. Same goes for BTEC, same goes for the T levels. Then we will contact you and invite you in that order. Every half an hour, we'll invite you through from the set times to come in. If you're not here then, on results day, and you're planning somebody else to go and get your results, you stand a good chance that you'll lose your place here. It's not impossible, but But you need to get an advocate who's signed from you to say, I'm not going to be here, we're abroad, but my auntie is acting on my behalf, is going to bring and start. You're still looking for the format. The good news is it's a Google form. You can fill it out wherever in the world with internet access. She's going to attend on my behalf. But when you get to that meeting, it'd be hard to progress unless we're doing an online meeting. And we have got that, and we are very flexible. Sometimes we do that on via Teams. We've had students in Morocco or wherever it might be, and we've tried to facilitate it. But I can't make promises. We go above and beyond to help, but I can't make promises. Simple answer is, be here, get your results, come in for your appointment. Applications are ranked. You can see there on the T-level pathway on the Thursday the 21st from 2 p.m. We'll start inviting the T-levels in, and we'll invite in the A-level again on the Thursday from the 2 p.m. And the next day, mostly that will be the BTEC through. We are open, unlike other schools, we are open through to 7:30 at night. So all our staff give up all their holidays to do this. We are therefore open on the Thursday till 7 o'clock. We're open on the Friday till 6 o'clock. We're open on the Saturday, a bit earlier, normally to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Okay, we're then closed on the Sunday and Monday, bank holiday, and then we're back open on the Tuesday. I have to be truthful though, every year for the last 5 years, as far as I can remember, most of the courses have already been filled and closed by end of Friday into Saturday. Okay, so that's important. When you come through the door, if you're in a certain ranking order you're coming through, there'll be a board across the road which will tell you which courses are full, and you can make those adjustments and you'll have those meetings. Everything is on the website. Everything about the enrolment is on the website, and we're available to take questions for you as well. There's the example of the form to fill in. It's not hard, it's a simple form. You put your results in. If you want to put yourself down as 9s, go for it, but you won't get very far because you've got to have your evidence behind it, and it'll just kick yourself out of the system. So be honest, put it down. I hope you've all done amazingly well. I really do. But sometimes things might not be quite what they are. Do not despair. Put your results in, we'll rank it, but come in and see us as part of that process and we'll have a conversation. However, we are very strict for right reasons around, if you can from your school and you are very, very close, right on a margin point, it's really important from a school that you get your UMS score sheet. Now, mostly of that is normally recorded on your results form. Some schools, though, don't add it on. What I mean by that is that tells you how many marks you got. And then we can look at that, and if you're 1 mark off or you're having a remark, we can then have those dialogue and conversations. And what I would say, like last year, if you're within 5-6 marks, or certainly 5 marks of a boundary, I'd be pushing to remark anyway. We saw swings last year of 7-8 marks on nearly every single A-level GCSE last year. So, you know, it's well worth thinking about that. You'll be invited in. As I said, that's why we have the meeting with the specialist person, the teacher. Why you have the meeting with me or one of my senior staff. We'll have that conversation with you. But we may get to a point and say you cannot do that course, but these are other options that we have available for you. You must bring with you, and again this is in your booklet, in your leaflet, you must bring with you when you come your GCSE results form, the real one, to match up with what you've already submitted. You must bring an ID, passport or birth certificate. If your auntie or your advocate is coming on your part, they must bring that with them. Okay, so if you've gone abroad and you're not here and you've got your passport, you need to think carefully about what they are. They also need to bring their own ID to prove who they are. So they're bringing their ID to say, I am, you know, whoever, Auntie Margaret, and I am representing Daniel Lockweeton, and I'm bringing the 2 bits of ID or copies of those ID. It's also helpful if you tell us that beforehand. And if you were going abroad, you need your passport, we could probably do that bit earlier. You need to bring your resource fee with you. That's £15 cash or card is accepted. That gets you your lanyard, your digital card, your printing, as well, and then separate to that, you've got an option to then, if you want to buy a locker, I say buy a locker, you don't get to take it home, but if you want to rent a locker for your time here, you do that. We used to make it used to be about £25 a resource fee, but we've reduced it because not everyone wants a locker, that's a personal choice. Then you will come in, you'll have that meeting, and you will receive on that day your letter of confirmation. That means your place is locked in and secure and you're done. The caveat. Some of you may be sitting here thinking, I'm still thinking about going somewhere else. or I've got a number of choices. Great. I accept that and I understand that. I hope we're your first choice. We may not be. What I have to say really importantly though, please do not accept a place with us if you do not wish to come. Because every year I have 50, 60, 70 students turn up here and take the places. And then I'm saying to somebody else, you don't have a place. And then 2 or 3 days later they go, oh no, I've got into a grammar school here, or I'm going to this school, I'm doing that. And by that stage, it's all, not only the system's all messed up, but that person's lost that place, and it's very hard then for them to re-get their combinations they need to do. So I accept on that day you're going to go around and get that sorted, but yes, do it. But if at that point we call you in and say you've got an appointment, you go, actually, you know what, since I've submitted my application at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever, I've since accepted a place at whoever, great, wonderful, I'm really pleased for you. Let us know that and we'll just wipe you off the list. That's not a problem. But do not accept a place if you are looking elsewhere, because that is just generally not fair on the other school, but it's also not fair on the students, and students will miss out and will not be able to go to sixth form. I've covered the induction already. Wednesday the 3rd of September, as I said, is your first day. Second on the Thursday on there as well. Friday may be optional depending on which group you're in, you'll be told over. And the induction days are compulsory. You have to attend. If you get given a place, but you don't come to induction, you don't get your place afterwards. It's just removed and we ring everybody else up. If you do not get your place because it's gone or you're not on the right number, at that point, you'll go onto a waiting list. And that week, I've got a team of about 15 people who are in, even every hour are going, oh, so-and-so's not coming. They'll ring you up and say, Mariam, do you want that place? You wanted an A-level biology, chemistry, physics? Yep, great, it's yours. Come on in, secure it. So we're doing that all the time. So we're very fluid during that process. Helen, you all should know by now. If you don't, she is the god of admissions and you need to get to know her. She cannot be bribed as much as she tells you that, unfortunately. But more importantly, if you've got any questions, do email admissions@auea.co.uk. The number's there. It does ring out. She's by herself, so sometimes I do apologise. Email's best, but get in contact with us. But tonight is the night to get all those answers. I hope we've come to the end of the presentation that I've answered all of your questions. I'm happy to take some open questions now if you've got it. Otherwise, I'll stand at the front here for the next while, and then we will answer those questions for you now as well if you've got one-to-one questions. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I can. Thank you for reminding me. I'll whiz back. And what I would say, at 33 pages, all the answers are in there. So a little reminder, downstairs T-levels, business is here, BTEC A-level across the road.